Hi, Gil from Testing Gil here. Bugs ain't what they used to be. In the old days, when we lived in the caves and we used supercomputers that were the size of buildings, but still fit in the cave, a bug was a crash. A feature either worked or didn't. We could tell if something was wrong. With this super ability, we could test these features and sometimes even automate these tests. For the right price, of course. In the new world of AI testing, the meaning of "it works" has fundamentally changed. We can look at it from three different angles. First, what the user sees. We've always tested from the user's perspective. But now, we need to pay a lot more attention. This is called the correctness spectrum. Take our API analysis agent. We give it an API, and in return, it gives us a test plan. So magically, it returned an answer. Well, does it work? We already talked about how to evaluate an answer, with golden datasets and automatic scorecards. And these help with defining a good answer. But the question today is, when do we report a bug? The plan can be a good plan, or a partial plan, or a good plan with some missing bits, or a complete plan with some not so good bits, or a complete hallucination, and everything in between. It's easy to identify the hallucinations. Well, sort of. How about the rest? And let's talk about tone. If you're talking to your AI buddy through a chat interface, it can answer in different kinds of tones. Formal, casual, using jokes, using threats. Anything is possible, right? So, what is the wrong behavior? And what does a bug report look like? He didn't speak nicely to me? Okay, user-facing bugs are important, but there are other kinds as well. We have been suffering from non-functional behaviors from the inception of software. Take latency, for example. We input the prompt, we get our plan. Did it come within the right window? We can test that. And performance leads us to the second aspect, operational. Do you know why it takes so much time to get the plan? You see, our agent is a perfectionist. When the LLM it uses returns a not-so-good answer, it retries, sometimes more than once. The user finally gets a perfect plan, but we call the LLM 3 times more than we budgeted for. And these calls cost a lot, especially when they accumulate. So imagine you're paying 3 times more than you planned to. And you know, with our millions of users, this is a steep cost. This is an operational problem. In fact, this is an actual bug. It needs to be fixed. Cost is a new aspect of operational bugs. But there are more. Vulnerability to attacks, for example. Remember the Chevy chatbot that sold a car for $1? I talked about it in the prompt injection video. Users probably like this feature, but companies probably less. How about the Air Canada bot that invented the refund policy? When someone wanted to be reimbursed by this policy, the courts decided that the company must pay them, even if it was invented by the bot. Those aren't just glitches, these are operational bugs. User bugs and operational bugs are bad enough. But then they join forces, the hybrid bugs. Take data bias, for example. If the model was trained on biased data, the user experiences that bias, and the company takes the legal hit. How about safety? The bot may suggest things we really shouldn't try. You're probably thinking, who would take an unsafe advice? Well, my friends, I have news for you. If you tried using glue to keep cheese on pizza, you may have been a victim of an unsafe bot suggestion. Yes, that happened, and there were a lot worse cases. And again, apart from being unsafe to the user, very quickly these things become unsafe to the company as well, legal-wise. We need to start thinking differently about bugs, how they may occur and what their impact is. As you probably may have heard me say, we need to start thinking differently about quality, and even more, how to manage it. In my next webinar, we're going to talk about the modern risks in AI applications and how to manage them. Details below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share it, and check out my other videos. Until next time, bye-bye.